And welcome back to the Crypto Hawk program. Korea, Ripple's, one of Ripple's first partners. So this is what I'm telling you for years. All of Ripple's first partners, they're going to launch first. And we're seeing this. We got Korea is now getting all set up with cryptocurrency. Now, they're not going to let it rip right now, but they're starting to get all their laws set up. They have goals, I think, January 1st. We'll get into this during the show. But they're going to tokenize. What's interesting is a long time ago, I said, we're going to tokenize. Like years ago, I've been telling you, like the Golden Gate Bridge, national parks, and all that shit. They're going to tokenize like everything you can imagine on this planet. Baseball stadium, football stadium, whatever it is. The government way of raising money could be to tokenize properties. People buy into a properties, properties go up in value. So instead of people buying treasury bonds, so maybe they buy national parks, all kinds of shit like that. Maybe you tokenize a rocket, space station. I don't know. Just use your imagination. Everything can be tokenized. Very interesting. We're getting into this. My name's Crypto Hawk, not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor, none of the above. I don't know anything about finance. I don't know anything about crypto, nothing at all. Don't do what I say. Don't copy trade me. Don't do anything except run from this channel. That's what you need to do. All right. Now let's take a look. Here is where all of this starts. Let's do a copy and a paste. South Korea to modify a 76-year-old law to classify cryptocurrencies as a national asset. And meanwhile, in the United States, we miss a deadline for the Clarities Act today. They're supposed to have something done by July 18th. No, they don't have it done because they're questioning Trump's. It's just nonstop drama. I'm not even going to get into all the dumb shit. I mean, the Democrats never questions Nancy Pelosi when she's worth $250 million or whatever. Nobody questions that at all. Nobody questions how Nancy Pelosi always picks the right stocks and gets in and out at exactly the right time. Nobody ever questions that. Nobody has ever held up major infrastructure laws, but they will when Trump, you see, this is all fucking fake shit, all right? There's an agenda here. It's to keep America busted up and allow the communists to come in and take over. That's what it is. Then they control the whole world and make everybody slaves. That's the goal. South Korea is going to modify a 76-year-old law to classify crypto as a national asset. The government also reaffirmed plans to pilot. They're going to let this run. They're going to pilot tokenized government bonds next year, starting in January. They're going to explore, listen to this, tokenize state-owned real estate. National parks, the post office, building, everything that's state-owned. America that invents crypto doesn't. We're fucking around doing something. Meanwhile, the rest of the world's starting to tokenize. How convenient. It's all fake here. I told you that would happen. South Korea plans to update its 76-year-old national asset management system to formally include virtual currencies and intellectual property in the country's definition of national assets. according to the Ministry of Economy. So what we have, I told you a long time ago, probably when I started the channel 6 years ago, we're talking about the United States Code. Nobody talks about that except Crypto Hulk. None of these other YouTubers used to work for the Department of Justice, just me. So they don't even know what I'm talking about. United States Code has all the laws, definitions, everything in it for the country. Right now with cryptocurrency, we don't have anything in the United States Code. We don't have crypto laws. It's amazing how the IRS can claim that, look, I'm not paying no tax on shit right now. If we don't have laws, how the fuck you paying tax on some shit where there ain't no laws? Last time I checked, the Department of Justice, IRS, they don't get to determine the definitions of things. Last time I checked, it has to be in the United States Code. Oh. Last time I checked, judges don't get to determine what something is. A judge can't tell you what this is or that is if there's no law. That's poppycock. If you're ever told by the IRS, oh, you've got to pay tax. Oh, you're going to take me to court. And then you're going to stand in court while you explain to me, IRS, where do we have crypto laws? Who gives you the authority? What constitution in the world gives you the authority to determine what is a crypto and what crypto is taxable? We don't even have it in the law books. Could you please explain how that happens in communist America? I'll take my response sitting down. So what Korea is going to do is they're going to have in their law definitions of what things are. Imagine that. Imagine that. I've only been saying this for 6 years now. No other channel. The proposal contemplates revising the National Property Act. See, this is what you do, America, IRS, law enforcement, Justice Department, where I used to work. Okay, you have to create law. I know it's a hard concept to understand. See, it's so much easier for them just to tell us what to do and tax us by doing it illegally than having to create law. That takes work, W-O-R-K. 99% of people are work averse. They don't want to do any kind of work whatsoever. The proposal contemplates revising the National Property Act, which dates back to 1950, by the way, and includes plans to create a broader legal framework for managing state. See, they're going to do what America needs to do. The ministry reiterated its plans to start a pilot program for tokenized government bonds January 2027. So what do we have here again? Korea is going to change their laws right now. And in January, so in 5 months? 5 months, Korea is going to start tokenizing. Korea is going to start taking all their real estate in the country and put it into crypto form. You don't have to believe in crypto or using it. You don't have to believe in any of that shit. The future is going to come up, and then you're going to have to adapt after the fact. What we do on Crypto Hulk channels, we look at trends. We look at what's going to happen. So in America, they can fight this. The Democrats is what we're talking about here. It's not they, it's the Democrats, because there are no Republicans voting against this in mass droves, just Democrats only. Officials are also studying the tokenization of the state-owned real estate to allow retail investors to participate in and share in investment returns. Oh, interesting. The finance ministry said it would begin testing tokenized deposits for government spending in the fourth quarter. So starting October of this year, they're going to start testing it. October, November, December. Korea is going to start testing in October. And in January, they're going to roll out tokenizing all the government properties and then allowing people like you and me, which we call retail. They're going to allow people like you and me to start buying, the crypto. Meanwhile, in America, the Bank of Korea has already started trials of its central bank digital currency with commercial banks. Do you see how all this is happening in America? The Democrats are just trying to shut. I'm telling you what, you're going to have to force. I told the $500 group people when I started that back in February, I told you with nothing, this shit ain't going to probably pass. I told the $500 people back in February, you're going to have to force this in. There's got to be an accident. There's got to be a catastrophe. There's going to have to be some compelling reason that will force the Democrats to vote on this and adopt it. I have a feeling other countries, when they start popping up with all this crypto, the force will be, maybe one of our enemy countries are starting to hook up with crypto. It's going to force. The only way the Democrats are going to vote is to force this issue. I was telling you guys that back in February. I'm not holding my breath for no Clarities Act, none of that dumb shit. It's going to have to be a force issue. America's going to have to look like they're falling behind. I think if one of our enemy countries go crypto and stop using the dollar, and it could cause another enemy country to do that, it would start, I think, forcing the Democrats. You'd have to have an emergency meeting, and it's going to have to take a lot of drama. These Democrats want to just drive the country into the ground. And when your average American starts to stand up and get active, then that's when something will change, but not until then. The government will study interoperability. Oh, looky here. In 2027, the Korean government will study. They don't need to. They've already done all this. This is ridiculous. Okay, let's just go with it. They're going to study the interoperability between the central bank blockchain network and other distributed ledger network. Now, I wonder what other crypto platforms they're going to look into. Now, what crypto platform do we know that deals heavily in banking? Well, that would be XRP ledger and the HBAR crypto with the Hedera ledger. Those would be two ledgers right away. We probably could throw in some XDC in there because you deal with trade finance, so you're going to be dealing with banks and shit possibly with that. Stellar doesn't really deal with banks. Probably going to have some kind of IOTA, Algorand in there. ISO cryptos. Whoop, whoop. You never know. It's all a secret because they keep hiding it. Okay, now, here is the Korean roadmap. So we basically have the idea from that article on what's going on. Now, we can't, I'm not going to go through this Korean and download all this stuff. So I'm going to review this deep dive. I used AI to go through the roadmap for the Koreans. Let's look here what's going on, because this is very, very interesting. Here's the roadmap for the Koreans. This roadmap centers on enacting a new basic law on national assets. So Korea is going to call assets cryptos. Korea has $1.4 trillion in KRW. In America, that's $1 trillion in largely sleeping national assets. Man, okay, what we got going on is Korea is going to change what the definitions of assets mean. Then they're going to tokenize all the land they can to make money. See, all the national park, let's say United States, we got the Arlington Cemetery or whatever it is, anything government land, buildings, real estate, thousands and millions of acres in Wyoming or wherever the hell is federal land. Okay. What Korea is going to do right now, everybody, is it's going to catch on. Like I told you, it's going to force eventually tokenization will force the Democrats to vote. That's how it's going to have to be. You have to force them, okay, to do what's right for the country. So Korea knows they have all this land. They're going to tokenize it. But first, they're going to change the law to count tokenization as property. So then once somebody tokenizes land, now it becomes property, like where you can create a token from it and earn money. They call it a sleeping national asset. Historically real estate heavy. And they're going to turn the real estate into dynamic, revenue-generating, growth-driving assets by integrating virtual and digital assets, which is crypto, and applying a tokenizing and STO where it's suitable. They're going to take all their land and shit and put it in the stock market. Securities. That's what's happening in Korea. Meanwhile, in America, they keep fucking around with dumb shit. They're worried about Trump's family getting rich. Richer than them. That's the problem. When you start getting richer than the government people, that's when they get mad. So they just stop working and shut down the government and cause chaos. Now in Korea, this is a government-led, institutional, business-to-business focused modernization of the public asset management. Public modernization of public asset management, also known as tokenizing everything in Korea and putting it on stock market and trading it. This is massive right here. Korea, now what's interesting, what Grok is showing what's interesting is notice the timing on this. Now, let me show you this right here. All of a sudden now, the United Kingdom, Ripple's first partners over there, Korea, United Kingdom, all these both. Look at this article right here. The European Central Bank taps 36 payment providers for a year-long digital euro pilot. We're starting to see right now governments popping up with this crypto. These governments that are like socialist, communist, they're all popping up with this digital money. Now, America isn't having it right now, but if we get a Democrat in office, they'll do the same thing, try to have government-controlled money. Now, I'm going to go back to the article. Now, also, if you remember, in the United Kingdom, I went over the other day, about 3 days ago, it's the United States, United Kingdom Transatlantic Task Force for the Markets of the Future. The United Kingdom Wholesale Digital Markets Champion Initiative. That's happening the same time Korea is doing this, okay? Now, we know that Korea, Japan, these are very heavily Ripple partner, Thailand, shit like that, okay? And you're going to start seeing these early Ripple partners, companies, countries popping up. Korea's one. Korea was there from day one with Ripple. Korea is advancing concrete domestic pilots and legal rails like the railroad. Rails for tokenized wholesale government finance. Oh, government finance? Trade finance. And when you start talking trade finance, it's XDC. At the moment, global transatlantic coordination is being formalized. The Deputy Prime Minister of the Economy, he presented the Basic Law on National Assets as a flagship task in the July 15th Presidential Work Report. They're going to change their whole focus from preservation and disposal to development, investment, and revenue collection or creation. They're changing the way they think in Korea now. And America's going to have to do the same. Expand definition of state assets beyond real estate and movable property to explicitly include intellectual property and virtual digital assets, which are crypto. They're now becoming property in Korea. They're going to change the laws. They're going to consider tokenizing select state-owned real estate via STO, security token offerings, is what they're going to be calling them, to boost liquidity and share operational profits and revenues with the public citizens. They're going to have tokenized deposits. Use bank-issued tokenized deposits on distributed ledger blockchain technology for dispersing national treasury funds, subsidiaries. So they're going to use, again, blockchain to distribute money. The government's not going to be mailing checks anymore, depositing money. They're going to use crypt deposit tokens when they pay you. It's going to be a whole new world. They're going to use deposit tokens when you get paid. Now, here we go. Listen to this. The Democrats are still going to do this. There's programmability baked in, meaning the money's programmable. Oh, shit, Cryptoholic, it's coming. Yeah, it is. Told you. There's going to be spending rules. There's going to be time windows. And permitted categories enforced on chain before transaction. So they're basically going to control how you spend your money, when you spend it, how much. Oh, this is just going to be beautiful. The pilot's going to start October of this year. They're going to pilot this tokenization thing. And then it's going to go full bore in January. They're going to have a Sejong City in October of this year is going to have an operational spending pilot. It's a subsidy tokenized payment test. Oh my God. This year they're starting it, everybody. The crypto, buying shit with crypto. The government's piloting it. They want to tokenize 25% of everything in the country by 2030. That's their goal. Now, if they can do it faster, then they can do it faster. But the minimum of 25% of everything in Korea that the government that claims is theirs, they're going to have it tokenized in a few years. At least 25% of everything the government owns. And they are officially starting it January of 27. They're officially starting the pilot in October. Just putting that out there. Meanwhile, the United States. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, they're going to have real-time tracking of fund usage and move. They're going to be watching exactly where this money goes. Oh, God. They're going to have reduced improper subsidies, greater transparency. So, like in America, where they have this thing called U.S. aid, and they pay like Nigerian guys to cut off their wee-wees or some shit like that and to wear wigs and lipstick and call themselves girls. That's going to kind of end. Because with this crypto, you'll be able to track every single dollar and know what it's for and where it's going. So those days are over. You're going to have personal data protection, interoperability across banks. Oh, man. What now they have a KRW, and that was a pilot launch in 2026, September 2026. You're going to have an offshore KRW settlement. They're going to try to get this money, the CBDC thing going. It looks like it's piloting in a couple months just for that. They're going to have a full introduction in the KRW crypto January of 27. They want the whole world to start buying their KRW crypto. And then they're going to, of course, track where it goes. That's going to be brilliant. So anywhere in the world, they want the public widen foreign investor access to KRW. They want people buying their Korean won. Their programmable money. Oh, yeah, so they can cut it off, right? So I'm going to go buy this Korean won, and they're going to track what I buy. Well, they'll see a lot of, what's that midget strip club I talked about last night? I forgot the name of my own club. The Dainty Dinkies, or what was the name? What do I call it? Dinky Donna's midget strip club or some shit. They're going to see Crypto Hulk's wallet, and it's going to be like at the strip club every night. And they'll be like, oh, we got to cut that off. But that's what the Koreans are doing. They're going to have it starting in September. And a full Korean won, they're going to let it loose in January. The digital crypto for Korea is going to be fully loosed. And also in January, they're going to start the tokenization of everything in Korea. They're going to start. And their goal is to take everything that's public land that they can and turn it into crypto form and put it on the stock market so people can trade it. Okay. Let's see. You're going to have the Electronic Securities Act, which is crypto stock market. And that's going to be effective, everybody, February 4th, 2027. February 4th, 2027, Korea will have their stock market crypto act. So they'll be ready to go. Legally, they can start trading in crypto February 4th, 2027. Meanwhile, back in America, they're going to start right now exploring the tokenization of stocks, bonds, MMFs, limited asset pooling, etc. They're going to tokenize government bonds. The last half of 2026, they're going to start tokenizing government bonds. Like America has savings bonds or whatever. They're going to turn that all into crypto. So it's happening in Korea right now. All the pilots right now. January 1st seems like it's green light go in Korea. Okay, they're going to have, I got to copy paste this one. Look what we got here. The second half of 2026. What does that say? Immediate acceleration. Immediate acceleration. Basic law advancement plus annual asset inventory. Q4 tokenized deposits pilot. September is an offshore KRW pilot. All these pilots are starting right now in Korea because in January, they're going to let it rip. Meanwhile, back in America, okay, so they're going to emphasize we're dealing with some banks, okay? We're dealing with the stock market. Well, guess who's in charge of the stock markets around the world? DTCC. Oh, shit. We go right back to Linux. There's the Linnea crypto. You've got Hyperledger Besu, that's stellar. You got T-Rise, tokenizes on the Canton network. My. So Canton is a permissioned privacy. What we're dealing with here is an emphasis in Korea, an emphasis on permissioned institutional grade DLT for regulated use cases. Regulated stock market, Canton. Just thought I'd let you remember that again there, buddy. Now, who is deeply integrated into this? Central banks in general, the Korea Securities Depository and securities firms. Security tokens we got. Bank of Korea. The government's all over this, everybody. Oh, now looky right here. You know, it's funny. I'm laughing because we're like already ahead of this. Like we already know in advance. I want to say congratulations to everybody watching this program. Right here, global linkage examples. Global linkage example. There's something. Who are the partners in this? The Mirai Asset Securities. What is that? A United States subsidiary. Oh, now looky here. The DTCC's lead tokenization working group. Oh, look, JP Morgan's involved. Oh, look, Goldman Sachs. Oh, look, BlackRock. DTCC. Man, we are so on top of this. Me and you already got the cryptos that's involved in this. Like, we're ready. We're like sitting there, okay, when are we going to take off? Other people are like, why is he talking about Korea? It means nothing to the United States. It doesn't have anything to do with us at all. Hold on, let me pull my boyfriend's dick out of my ass. I can't think quite straight. Boop! Oh, yeah, Crypto Hulk's right. He's totally right. Okay. Markets of the future. Let me look here. What happened is a few days ago, we were talking about United Kingdom again. They have this, the Transatlantic Task Force for the Market of the Future. It's made by Scott Bessent. Remember, we went over Scott Bessent, who back in, 1989 or something, dumped the United Kingdom economy. And here he is, Scott Bessent, now making crypto platform for these people. I'm like, unfucking believable. The shit you find out on Crypto Hawk program. But what we got here is the United Kingdom is working with the United States to create crypto laws. Now, how is that possible when the United States don't even have any and Korea's ahead of us? And you got the Democrats fighting this crypto thing every step of the way. But how are we the ones that help United Kingdom? Isn't that kind of, it don't seem right, huh? Then, especially when you got Scott Bessent, who like sunk the Titanic of the United Kingdom economy back in the 80s. He literally sunk the whole United Kingdom, and here he is making their crypto laws. This shit does not make any fucking sense. Unless it's all planned out. Or unless it was all just for show. So the other day, a few days ago, United Kingdom comes out with America and says, we're having this transatlantic task force. Guess what? The very next day, Korea comes up with this. That their whole government's going to go tokenization happy. The very next day. Interesting. I know it's just a coincidence, but, All right, let's keep going. Oh, and in the United Kingdom, you got 54 crypto companies and stuff. I mean, government agencies. There's like 2 or 3 crypto companies only. Ripple's one, Circle's another. I think, what's an Avalanche? I think Avalanche, those 3 cryptos, that's it. Nobody else. Korea is executing a sovereign state level parallel track. What they're doing is they're mobilizing a massive public balance sheet of assets via tokenization while building programmable physical rails and CBDC, interoperable bond tokenization. They're getting it all going there in Korea. Now, if you're in the Sacramento area, if you happen to be in Rancho Cordova, you have a Korean restaurant called Gangnam Avenue. Let me type that out. You're going to want to eat there. It's only like $35. All you can eat barbecued meat. It's like $35, and there's all kinds of Korean food. I'm telling you what, Gangnam Rancho Cordova, California. There you go. You got to go eat there. Whew, that place is amazing. You cook the food, you cook it yourself. It's like, and you got to give them a tip. So it's $35 a head, which is not all that. It's actually cheap, actually. $35 a head, maybe less, and all kinds of food. You cook it yourself, and then you got to pay them a tip. I'm like, what? What the fuck? Okay. A whole lot of shit in life I just don't understand. Just keep going. I don't even bother trying to figure it out. Just keep going. Okay. Tokenized deposits. Okay, here's the summary. We're at the end of this. Grok says this is a pragmatic, top-down Korean state modernization play, timed perfectly. It's timed perfectly with the global 2026 transatlantic thing. You got the United States with the United Kingdom. They're working on that. Just Grok said perfect timing, right? Okay. It's going to bring 1,400 trillion. That's a comma there. It's not a point. So 1,400 trillion KRW in public assets into a modern digital framework, tokenizing suitable real estate for liquidity and citizen revenue sharing and piloting programmable tokenized deposits. Minister Koo, his name is K-O-O. Minister Koo is treating distributed ledger technology not as crypto experiment, but as a core infrastructure for asset productivity and public finance efficiency. So yeah, September 2026, they're rolling out some of these pilots, September, October, and all that. And then January, everybody, official go time. It'll be official. No more pilot shit over there. Again, I don't have dates and times for when is America going to pass. This whole thing is fucking planned out, all right? They got their own little agenda. I'm not concerned with what. Look, if you watch my channel, you're going to know what cryptos these motherfuckers are using. We're all ready. We're planned. We're ahead on Crypto Hulk channel. We just don't know when. That's just how it goes. Joshua Tree heavy hauling. Yeah, so at a Korean restaurant, like this is called Korean barbecue. They got all kinds of seafood and meat, and some of the stuff's marinated. Good. I mean, I'm telling you what, it's worth $35, $35. It's not like I eat there all the time or nothing. I go there once every 3 months or once every 6 months. But they have like a grill in front of the table, and then you got your table where you can eat, and you cook the food. They slice the meat really thin so it cooks pretty fast. Now they usually have the fresh vegetables that come with it. You don't usually throw vegetables in the grill, although you could. But it's just really good. You got to try it. Yeah, you got to cook it yourself, which seems kind of, that's what you do. And then they deliver the food to you so you can cook it yourself. So it's not like a buffet where you have to get up on your own to grab. They deliver, like you tell them what you want. Like I like the baby octopus because when you cook those suckers, it almost looks like, well, I don't want to talk about what it looks like, but they're yummy. We have a Mongolian grill here. You pick the ingredients, but they cook it. Stu Lavelle's like, nice. No, so this is, I know what you're talking about, the Mongolian grill. It's kind of similar in concept. It's pretty close, but except you're the one cooking it. But yeah, it's kind of like that. It's actually pretty, I like doing that. It's good. All right. let us go. Okay, here we go. Next one. Oh, you're going to like this one. It deals with Swift versus Stripe. Are we going to have a showdown like a cowboy shootout? Wah, 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 wah. Stripe and Swift race to control the next generation. Oh my gosh. Stripe and Swift race to control the next generation of global payments infrastructure. Crypto and blockchain experts say this week's moves show the two established finance companies are increasingly competing for control of the infrastructure behind crypto payments. So Swift is fighting with Stripe. Interesting. Well, it makes for good news. What'll happen is Swift will take care of all the banks and all that shit. And maybe Stripe will cover all the rest. Two of the nation's biggest payment networks made major blockchain moves this week. Swift said Tuesday it would expand. Swift's going to expand a blockchain-based settlement network after completing pilot work with 17 banks. Well, we went over all this on Crypto Hulk Show. Yes, we did. Now Swift's working with 40 institutions. Stripe followed immediately after with an unsolicited $53 billion. What? Holy crap, dude. Where are these people getting all this fucking money? Where are they getting the money? Where are they getting the bloody money? Stripe followed immediately after an unsolicited $53 billion bid to buy PayPal. Oh, my God. It would make it one of the world's largest merchant payment networks. Oh, wow. With one of the biggest consumer wallet businesses. A wallet. Oh, my God. Swift, Stripe, and PayPal each sit at different ends of the global payments. Swift connects with more than 11,500 institutions and handles trillions. Stripe processes hundreds of billions. PayPal has more than 439 active account users, and PayPal processed $1.7 trillion. Holy crap. Taken together, the Swift announcement, one end, and the PayPal bid at the other end, they're trying to build the next generation of digital payments. That's crypto, everybody. Welcome to being a millionaire. I'm just going to tell you right now, congratulations, you're a millionaire, all right? You are, you'll see. I set it into existence. People are going to look back and, like, we already know we're millionaires. Like, crypto hasn't even taken off yet. You guys, I'm just letting you know. That's why you put in all this work. We study. We don't believe crazy, dumb shit. I'm reading the articles right here. This is a fact-based program, man. Everything is fact-based on this show. I already know where we end up. I already know what happens. If you pay attention, watch my fucking program, I already know where you end up. You got a ton of money. You got a ton of money. A Stripe PayPal combination would reduce dependency on Visa and MasterCard. They're all going to be in all this. Both Stripe and PayPal do approximately the same amount of payment volume. let me look here. Let me look at the deep dive for this. Capture a pivotal shift. The competition has moved from providing blockchain works to controlling distribution. As stablecoins and tokenized deposits mature into core financial institutions, everybody's turning into crypto. This is all going crypto. They can use the word digital and all that shit. It's all going crypto, okay? Digital is the last stop before tokenization, all right? Just so you know. The competition is moving into distribution, consumer wallets, and settlement as stable coins and tokenized deposits mature into core financial infrastructure. Now, Grok starts talking again about the Transatlantic Task Force. That's the United Kingdom getting all their crypto set up for banking, real estate, stock market, all the shit. United Kingdom is working on it. But it's funny how the United States isn't voting for any Clarities Act. I'm telling you, they're hiding whatever's going on, everybody. Whatever's going on. I don't fucking try to understand it because it doesn't even make sense. Here, what makes sense is somebody is hiding all this shit until the last minute flip of the switch. That's what I see happening. How do you have the Treasury of the United States helping out all the United Kingdom to get their whole country turned into crypto? What are we doing? Sitting around here with our thumb up our ass? Okay, that makes no sense unless it's planned for some reason like that. But how do we have 54 of the world's biggest industries and shit helping United Kingdom doing this while America can't even pass a Clarities Act? What? See, the bullshit, where's it at? Okay. B-U-L-L-S-H-I-T, that's bullshit. Okay, there we go. I had to get that one out. So this article here, the deep dive, shows how Stripe was founded, how Swift was founded. Okay, we'll skip past that. Oh, you're going to love it. Let's see if I can do a copy paste. Oh, you're going to love it. Woohoo. Happy to finally catch a live one, says Rob78 is here. I'm going to show you right now what crypto Swift's going to use. Woohoo. Looky right there. What does it say? Oh, look right here. Swift blockchain ledger. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the blockchain distributed ledger technology, and we're going to look at the tech stack, okay? Swift. We're going to start with Swift. What's the tech stack? Ethereum virtual machine compatible based on Hyperledger Besu. Hyperledger is IBM with Stellar. Then that got merged into Besu. They changed their name because Consensus took control over all of this. Besu was then given to Linux, and then Linux is now intertwined with the DTCC and Swift. Now, Swift, we all know, tested Linnea for a whole year. Swift tested Linnea for the whole year. Who made Linnea? Consensus. What happened with what did Consensus do with Linnea? Give it to Linux for why? The public good. So at Canton, DTCC, Swift, everybody's going to use that Linux and that Linnea. Okay. Look what I just gave you here. So you got it's built. The Swift blockchain's built on Hyperledger Besu. It integrates with broader digital asset ecosystem. The Hyperledger Besu is built on Linnea. Oh, shit, Crypto Hulk. You were right this whole time. Crypto Hulk. Wasn't it last summer around August, September that you told us about Linnea and then you put $3,000 in? But then over time, that $3,000 went down to be worth $1,000. Yeah. And you didn't sell any Linnea. Nope. In fact, I was buying more. Now I got a lot of it. I mean, I got a boatload of it. So here we see, if y'all listened to Crypto Hulk last September and you kept stacking that Linnea, the Swift blockchain ledger built on Linnea Ethereum layer 2 by consensus in a permissioned configuration. Dang, Crypto Hulk, you were right, like last year. Yeah, buddy. See, that's why I love my own show, is because we can just watch all this shit happen because we're already stocked. I got the warehouse loaded up with Linnea. Okay, it's low. I'm talking about I'm loaded. Like right now I'm loaded, but like really I'm talking about loaded with crypto. Okay, not loaded with illicit drugs and shit. Man, it's a good feeling to know that we're ahead. Like, we already know all this shit in advance. Like, we buy all the good stuff because we know, we buy all the good stuff and we watch the news, and the news reports they're using the stuff we already bought. It's like we're ahead. I love it, okay? Like, this is too fucking easy to do this shit. It takes patience, but you just got to have patience, but it's like we're ahead. Nobody on the planet knows what Linnea is. If you said, hey, do you got Linnea? Like, who's that, your girlfriend? Like, no. Now, Stripe is built on Bridge and Tempo. And guess what? Tempo is a partner of Zero Hash, and Zero Hash is a Zebek partner. Oh. Now, on Tempo, they have validators. Tempo's validators are Visa, Stripe, Zodiac Custody. That's Ripple technology right there. And Zodiac Custody is owned by Standard Chartered. Just thought I'd let you know on that. Now, XDC crypto is stated here that they're an additional crypto that's used for trade finance via Bridge. So we all know that XDC is for trade finance. Tempo. So here is XDC mentioned again. XDC Network. It's a bridge integration for trade finance / stablecoin settlement and agentic payments. It's a long-standing processor relationships. Stripe. Now, the company Bridge has regulatory licenses, and Bridge is working with Circle, Ripple, and Paxos. Let's see here. Okay, summary assessment. Here's another copy paste. Look what I copy pasted you. So now we're at the summary. It says Swift's permissioned Hyperledger Besu / Linnea based ledger. Oh, Monica. So that's for all the dumb shit channels out there telling you that Swift's not going to use Linnea or a partner of Linnea or any of these things. Swift has a permissioned Hyperledger Besu / Linnea based ledger. Yes, Swift is using Linnea. Dumb shits of the world. I'm not saying they're partners. They're using the technology. So you don't need to be like a partner of Ripple. It's open sourced. Linnea was tested by Swift for a whole year, roughly. Then the Linnea technology was given to Linux for a public good so that everybody can build and work on it, just like Swift. Swift is using Stellar, which is Hyperledger, that became Besu. So Swift's basically utilizing Stellar and Linnea. Notice, make sure you understand what I'm saying, all you dumb shits, before you leave your stupid comments. Swift is using Stellar to get this done and Linnea technology. I didn't say the word partnership, dumbasses, okay? All right. All righty then. I think that'll be it. Where are we at as far as time? We're 2 minutes over time. Oh, shit. All right. I think I'll end it right there. That'll be it. My name's Crypto Hulk. This show's over. Now, you can't stay here, but you don't have to go home. I'll see you in the next one.